While most gacha games are designed to separate you from your hard-earned money, these games are the exception. Hey G-Nation, I'm Ben and today on Android GameSpot, the top 10 gacha games to play in 2022 that are not pay to win. As always, this is my personal list, so watch the whole video till the end and let me know if your favorites made my list. Now, let's do this! Number 10. Girls Frontline. Girls Frontline is one of the most ideal gachas because the units themselves are actually free. It's the parts and the skins that come from the gacha. Actually, the entire rolling system is a unique gacha in that rather than just tossing currency and expecting something random, you put in the material that you farm playing the game and what goes in is dependent on what comes out. Certain combinations guarantee certain things, similar to the Cramomatic in the Pokemon Sword and Shield games. Number 9. Princess Connect Redive. Princess Connect has a system where you can unlock characters by collecting something called memory shards. Every character has their own and they are accumulated simply by playing in the game. The only thing this doesn't work for is the limited characters, but there are actually very few of those except for seasonal versions of main characters among a few others. The game has been out globally since winter of 2021 and the first limited character didn't even come until after Halloween according to the Japanese version. Point is, there are far and few in between when it comes to limited characters, so you can eventually get anybody you want. Number 8. Fate Grand Order. Some of you may say, but Ben, why would you put Fate Grand Order in this list? Don't you know that it's notorious for its bad drop rates? And I will say, yes, that is true, but on one hand, I am a big fan of the anime, and on the other, the game has a whole load of free units that are quite usable and that will definitely carry you through the main story of the game without ever reaching into your wallet, and that's pretty much the theme of this video. I am well aware that there is a big number of limited units, but a lot of them are super niche and not really necessary to enjoy or finish the game for that matter. Most of the practical rare characters such as Waver, who is arguably the game's best support, are available in the common gacha, so while FGO doesn't have the best rates, it remains F2P friendly. Number 7. Granblue Fantasy. Granblue Fantasy is very accessible when it comes to its gameplay and you don't need to use your money as the game is very generous in tossing out in-game currency. They offer campaigns with free rolls quite often and many of the best rare characters are time-locked, which means they eventually land into the pool. If I could sum up Granblue Fantasy's best feature in one sentence, it would be that the game rewards you for playing it and the more you do, the more features open up to you. Number 6. Azur Lane. The difference when it comes to Azur Lane compared to some other cash grab gacha is the developer, and more specifically, their moral values. Instead of focusing on easy money, they focus on making features that build player retention and the community. There's almost a whopping 500 characters in the game, so there's bound to be a couple for everyone. The developers keep things fair and do a lot of freebies as well as putting in mechanics where you don't need to pull out your credit card, unless you want to, of course. Azur Lane has pretty generous drop rates, doing 7% for a non-rate up SR and 2% for one that is on rate up. The game's also fair with giving out currency and you can easily accumulate them quickly, increasing the chance to get your preferred character. It's also easy to max out a character in ways that you can use an upgraded item as any copy of a character. Number 5. Arknights. Arknights is one of those games where you can power through the game with 4-star units and the SSRs are really more of a luxury, although the game does have decent rates and a generous rolling system, making the play on the accessible side. Summoning new units for free is actually quite easy because you use the in-game currency that you will be farming throughout your playthrough. The recruitment system has a timer feature which will tell you when a certain unit will be available so you can plan accordingly. The people I've talked to all said that you can basically play the game with 4-star units and not come across any roadblocks, and that the 5 and 6-star characters are more of a luxury than anything else. Number 4. Dragalia Lost. After the success of Fire Emblem Heroes, Nintendo brought us Dragalia Lost, an action RPG with colorful visuals, real-time combat and even co-op with up to 3 players online. But the actual reason the game made it to this list is of course its gacha system. And Dragalia Lost has a really good one in my opinion, and that's because every time you roll, the chance to roll an SSR character increase a little bit. And this keeps going until you actually get the featured character you want or another SSR. Also, for every roll you pull, you will get points that you can use to unlock the characters you're hunting for, given that you get enough points within a certain amount of time. Dragalia Lost has a lot of different ways of accumulating currency for rolling, and the game also often features campaigns where you can do a free roll once a day, with certain events even offering a voucher for a free star character. Number 3. 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Following the plot of the popular anime by the same name, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross features beautiful visuals, decent combat, and friendly gacha pull-ups. The gacha system here is not as greedy as a lot of other gacha games on mobile. You get SSR tickets by just logging in daily, and you can use these right away or hold on to them for later. There are very few limited characters, with most of the units in new stories almost always added up to the general rolling pool. Games like 7 Deadly Sins that don't have a lot of limited units are ideal for free-to-play style, because there's no temptation to try and grab a character before they disappear for a year or even forever. Number 2. Guardian Tales. Guardian Tales is more than just your standard modern blast from the past RPG, it's also one of the friendliest free-to-play gacha games out there. Yes, the story is nothing out of the ordinary, but the game more than makes up for it with its gorgeous pixel visuals, charming characters, solid combat, and flawless gameplay, whether it be the standard RPG mechanics or the town building and decorating. With a deep dive into the mechanics, Guardian Tales has a straightforward system that doesn't necessarily restrict free-to-play gamers from getting what they want. Many characters and their costumes are unlocked through general gameplay. You can also gather lots of currency gems very fast. Grinding for equipment and character shards is less of a lengthy process and more about just enjoying your gameplay, because Guardian Tales is simply loads of fun to play. Oh, and I'm a big fan of the gacha summoning animation. Number 1. Another Eden. Call me old school, but I still prefer single player games when it comes to JRPGs, and if you're like me, Another Eden is perfect for you. The game is written and directed by none other than Chrono Trigger's writer, Mr. Masato Kato. In addition to its rich map, interesting characters, and one of the most engaging stories one can ask for, Another Eden doesn't have daily logins, or things that expire for that matter. So you can put it down and pick it up after a while and go right back to where you were, and that's awesome. Players have also reported that it is one of the most generous games in giving out free units, especially SSR characters. There is also a bundle of content that is mission impossible to completely clear out without always finding something new to try, pushing Another Eden gameplay value to the roof, and an easy choice for me personally as number 1. And that sums up the 10 best gacha games on mobile that are not pay to win. And now I wanna hear from you in the comments. What are your picks for gacha games with the best rates? Of course, as always, if you enjoyed this video, clicking the like button does help me out a lot, and I would really appreciate that. And if you're new, consider subscribing, because I'll put out new videos like this every week. Also, special thanks to my YouTube members, and link down below if you wanna support my content and enjoy some pretty cool rewards. Once again, I'm Ben, thank you AG Nation for watching, and I'll see you next time, right here on Android GameSpot. Stay epic!